and stars fall on stars fall on.
You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and see what the fuck they talking about, man. That 70's show curse, or the curse of that 70's show, whatever the fuck they want.
But thankfully, they've been proven wrong. Over the last decade, we've seen many Hollywood stars have their masks ripped off to reveal the monster they always were deep down inside. Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, Bill Cosby, and many, many more. The latest of which is Danny Masterson. Masterson starred on one of the most popular shows of the late 90s and early 2000s, That 70's Show. With 8 seasons, the show dominated Fox for almost a decade, and when That 70's Show premiered in 1998, it made stars out of its completely unknown young cast. Over the last 25 years, the That 70's Show cast has not only stuck around and consistently worked, which is no easy feat in Hollywood, but the entire cast has been very successful, with some of its members even making it on to the coveted A+ list and becoming widely recognized around the globe. But despite their success on both the small and silver screen, the cast of That 70's Show have been surrounded in controversies, with nearly every single cast member, bar one, being caught up in multiple headline-making scandals. So today, we're going to discuss all the crimes, cheating, predatory behavior, cults, scandals, and controversies that surround
predatory behavior, guys. Listen, these motherfuckers, you know how I've been looking at it? The same shit. You know why they tell us don't look up to these celebrities and these rappers and etc., etc.? Because they're still human. They can still do shit that they say a poor person would. Like a rich person could still, like, look at Patrick Bateman. Motherfuckers could easily be a sociopath, narcissist, but whether they're not, their mental health can be clear. They decide, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take up this hobby. I got all this money, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take advantage of people. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? And look at Diddy. You know what I mean? Look at all these motherfuckers that got all this money. People ask, why do they do the things that they do? It's because I feel like it's because not only are they into it, but it's like, oh, not only am I into this, I can do it because I can. I have the power to do it. I have the money to do it. What else am I gonna spend my money on? Type shit. You see what I'm saying? I done traveled everywhere. What else am I gonna do? I'm still human. What else? Fuck it. These motherfuckers cannot be trusted. From Nickelodeon, nigga with kids and shit too. Oh man, no man, they down bad.
in particular Danny Masterson, Ashton Kutcher, and Wilder Valderrama. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, and let's dive in to the dark and twisted world of That 70's Show. Viewer discretion advised for this video, where we discuss extremely serious topics involving SA. Outside of court convictions, everything is alleged, and this video is for entertainment purposes. It's the product of discussions with sources who knew, worked, and interacted with the cast of That 70's Show. And
real quick, I swear to God, I'm not gonna pause it no more. I think it's fucked up how with shit like this, I'm speaking specifically with shit like this. I hate how they say, oh, like we have to say, like whoever's documenting, whoever's speaking on the top has to say, oh, allegedly. Nigga, no, this shit is documented in front of us. We're watching it. This is television. This ain't the streets. This is completely different. We're watching this shit and we know I mean, I guess I get it. We have to say that, but it's just crazy how we have to say that. You know what I mean?
They're the product of research with sources available in the pinned comment. That 70s show was, unsurprisingly, set during the 1970s. It was a typical show about high school friends and later young adults hanging out and trying to find their way through life. The show starred Mila Kunis, Laura Prepon, Topher Grace, Ashton Kutcher, Danny Masterson, and Wilmer Valderrama. There also was Deborah Jo Rupp and Kurtwood Smith starring as the parents, but both of these failed miserably.
The fuck are they doing with that weird shit? There's one That 70s show, that's it. You can't do That 70s show and then turn around and want to do That 80s show. It's a completely different vibe, completely different cast. Even when they did that 90s show, or I think that's the newest one, right? Man, fuck out of here, bro. That's nah, bro.
Last year, there was a Netflix sequel launch titled That 90s Show. That 90s Show saw Deborah Jo Rupp and Kurtwood Smith return as the Foremans in That 90s Show, and all of the previous That 70s Show cast, with the exception of Danny Masterson, returned for a few scenes in the first season of That 90s Show.
See about my boy here, huh? Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him. He's got his dad's looks and his mom's braids. Like 3 days last year.
Sweet Lord, it's evolving.
That 90s Show got lukewarm reviews, but proved popular enough to get a second season, which is currently being filmed. The show did not address why Masterson's character was not featured, nor was it mentioned at all throughout the first run of the series. While That 70s Show was a very successful show and on screen for nearly a decade, the show's cast and their reputations have been marred in controversies, scandal, criminal behavior, assaults, lies, cheating, and darkness. So we'll primarily be talking about each of the cast and the controversies surrounding them, because even though this show ended almost 20 years ago, the That 70s Show cast are still making headlines, and lately those headlines have been anything but good. As always, my sources are in the pinned comment, although please keep in mind some information has been supplied to me via people who have had first and second-hand accounts with members of the That 70s Show cast, the vast majority of which are experiences with Ashton Kutcher, Wilmer Valderrama, and Danny Masterson. We're going to start off by talking about what was going on when the show was on, what the cast was up to, some of the controversies during the late 90s and early 2000s, and then we'll be moving into specific members of the cast via the chapters, which are timestamped below in the description. That 70s Show was an enormous success, and with 200 episodes, it was made Fox's second longest running live action sitcom ever, behind Married with Children, though it didn't quite have the same rating success as Married with Children. The premiere of the first season in 1998 gained a viewership of close to 12 million. The cast at the time, with the exception of Danny Masterson, was completely unknown, with many of them having done no professional acting whatsoever. Ashton Kutcher had just moved to Hollywood from Iowa and was a model. Laura Prepon was from New Jersey and she had no acting experience but was also a model. Wilmer Valderrama was in between his junior and senior year of high school, and Topher Grace actually only got the part because he appeared in a school play with the daughter of series creator Bonnie and Terry Turner. Mila Kunis had had a little bit of experience, with one of her prior projects being the Disney Channel movie Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. This was the third in the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids franchise, and Kunis starred alongside Smallville's Allison Mack, who now is more famous for being a high-ranking member of the cult NXIVM. I do have a video about Mack and NXIVM if you want to know more about that.
Okay, so Allison Mack,
Yes.
I used to audition against. And my manager and I were just talking about, like, the different actors that I used to audition against when I was, like, 14, right? 11, 12, 13, 14. And I was like, I wonder where they're at now. Like, where are half these people? So I started Googling some of the actresses that I used to audition against, one of them being Allison Mack. And I Googled her, and I was like, what is this NXIVM thing? And I started watching the videos on YouTube. This is before anything was on the news. And I was like, yo, she's in a cult. and so I
You're
started
actually talking to the TV. I'm imagining you, like, just literally talking to your
I mean,
computer.
I wish. I was more like, Cammy, She's in the cult.
Masterson was the oldest of the group and had done a lot of commercials as a child and teenager. He got his first movie role in Beethoven 2, and he did a few more shows throughout the mid-90s, like Roseanne and the movie Face Off. Face Off starred fellow Scientologist John Travolta, and Danny Masterson's part seemed to predict his future crimes. In the late 90s, Danny continued on multi-episode arcs on shows like Party of Five and Sybil. When it comes to how everyone got on behind the scenes, Masterson was the oldest of the 6 kids on that 70s show, and in the first season, he sat them all down and told them that they had a good thing going with the success of the show, and this was his shot, and nobody better ruin it for him by being an idiot in the press. This was spun as a very positive, look how great Danny is, but in reality, it wasn't as wholesome as it seems. Topher Grace got a lot of stick over the years for not wanting to be friends with the cast. Everyone else was friends, and Ashton Kutcher, Danny Masterson, and Wilder Valderrama were especially close, going out and partying together every week. The other people associated with the shows, like creators and producers, tried to play it like Topher was a homebody and just wasn't into going out with the cast. But 20 years later, that seems to be very untrue, because for 20 years, Topher Grace has been making friends with plenty of the cast on movies and TV shows that he's worked on. He's gone out lots. It just seems like he didn't want to be friends and go out with Danny Masterson. And for this reason, he didn't socialize with the cast because they were all so close to Danny Masterson. Many people have spoken about Masterson, who is a Scientologist, and how he ran his own little cult on the set of that 70s show. The rest of the cast was so close to Danny Masterson that they would go every year to the Scientology Christmas event and other fundraisers.
Alright, fam, that's the end of the video, man. That's the curse of that 70s show. We're going to continue this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like maybe 2 hours long. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just bear with me, okay? Y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think about this shit, man. Subscribe to the channel. I've been going crazy today, man. Alright? Getting these videos done. I got work in the morning. Y'all subscribe. Alright? I'm out.